Lee. Over at the airport, it's sunny at 13. Over in Midland, it's partly sunny at 14. Here, Radio Center, it's partly sunny at 13. We have west winds at 16 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 30.39, and it's rising.
We mentioned again about some of those temperatures. We're talking a major winter storm that's going to be moving in through the Tennessee Valley over the next couple of days. Colorado to Kentucky to West Virginia over a 36-hour time period. They are going to be looking at measurable amount of snow, measurable amount of ice, and along the southern tier, continuation of some very heavy rains. We've got flooding conditions that are moving through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, as well as Georgia. Some areas have been picking up more than 5 inches of rain over the past couple of days, and some of that water is going to be freezing as we go through the next couple of days. Cold to the south. High temperature today in Dallas, Fort Worth, 15. That's their projected high. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, they won't make it to freezing. They're looking at a high temperature projection today of 25. You get a little bit around and a little bit to the north and the south of those cities. Nashville, Tennessee, today they'll be at 23. Tomorrow they'll be at 14. And then on Thursday, Nashville will peak out at 10 for an afternoon high temperature. Kansas City, Missouri is their projected high temperature. And again, these aren't wind chills. These are actual temperatures. 3 below zero today in Kansas City, 10 below zero for a high tomorrow, and then 8 on Thursday. Rapid City, South Dakota, obviously you'd expect it to be cold. 21 below. That's their high temperature for the day today. Tomorrow, not much warmer than that. And on Thursday, they're still going to be in double digits below zero for afternoon high temperatures. And again, as we said, Nashville, Tennessee, they're going to be looking at temperatures as we get close to the end of the week, struggling to hit 10 for a high. For us, we're going to be looking at a high projected to be right around 15. So that's not much difference than where we are right now. Hot spot in the state, if you want to call it that, 16. And that is in Alpena, of all places, 16 degrees. The east side of the Upper Peninsula, temperatures aren't much different than what they are here. Harbor Springs is looking at 16 degrees. Rogers City is currently at 15. Detroit is at 15. And Holland is at 15. The Benton Harbor area, they're talking 17 degrees there as of right now. And it looks like that's about as warm as it's going to get. Again, a function of that water. That's the reason why those temperatures are just a little bit warmer. Barometer is very high right now, 30.39. It's rising, and that's the reason why the temperatures are as cold as what they are. We have a high pressure system to the west of us, pulling down some very cold air out of Canada, and it is going to be pushing that cold air as the storm system moves through to the south, the Tennessee Valley and south. Then the cold air is going to be dropping down through. So that's the reason why those temperatures in southern parts of the continental United States will be colder in the next couple 3 days, because that system, the low pressure system, will be tracking through there, opening it wide open with that counterclockwise circulation in combination with the clockwise circulation of the high to pull all that very cold air down in through that part of the United States. Mix of sun and clouds today. 15 is our projected high. Looking for a low tonight of 2 below zero. Sun will set this evening at 6:11. Rise tomorrow morning at 7:28. A mix of sun and clouds, but more clouds tomorrow. As a result, the temperature is going to warm up a little bit. 20 for a high tomorrow, 10 for a low tomorrow night. Incidentally, we should be at 32 for a high temperature and 18 for a low. That's what's average. We're going to try to get there on Thursday, but no cigar. 22 for a high on Thursday with clouds. We're going to have some flurry activity move in late Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. I'm not looking for a lot of snow out of this, but there could be an inch or maybe 2 inches in the Great Lakes Bay area late Wednesday night and early Thursday morning. We're going to have a northwest wind on Thursday night, not real strong, but just strong enough to generate some push of lake effect type snow, which is the reason why we are going to be seeing it, especially on Thursday morning. We'll have a northwest wind gusting to 25 miles per hour. So couple that with a temperature on Thursday of 22. Once again, we'll have some very cold wind chills. Friday, partly cloudy skies, maybe a few more clouds around. 28 is going to be our high on Friday. 14 will be our low on Friday night. Then moving into the weekend, we'll hit at and then go above the freezing mark on Sunday. 28, 29 degrees for a high on Saturday. 32, 34 degrees, maybe possibly even warmer than that on Sunday. And then moving into the work week next week, our temperatures are going to be hovering in the middle 30s, if that low, as we take care of the last few days of the month of February. Now, long range to take us into the month of March, March the 3rd, we're going to be looking at our temperatures averaging at or slightly above normal. Precipitation values pretty much the same, at or slightly above normal as well. Record high in this state is 62. That was set back in 2017. The record low, 12 below zero, hit 3 times. 1920, 1936, and 1979. Incidentally, the coldest ever for an 18th of February was in 1979. 8 was our high, 12 below zero was our low. The warmest ever, 18th of February, 2017. 62 was our high, 38 was our low. And the most amount of snow on this date, 1926. You got to go all the way back 99 years ago. 8 inches of snow on this date at that time. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Matthew standing by. Who do we have today?
Up next, we have Melinda Sweeney from the Andersons, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. Those Farmall tractors, they can do the job for you, whatever it is. All you got to do is stop by Weiss Equipment and they'll pair you up with the right Farmall tractor to fit your need. They have them. They've got them all the way from the value-packed compact Farmall A up to the deluxe compact Farmall C and C series with cabs. We've said it before, we'll say it again. Can-do comes in red, and that's why they call it the Farm All, because that's exactly what it will do. Case IH Farmall tractors available today at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. Melinda Sweeney joining us this morning over at the Andersons. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm trying to stay warm. How about you?
Yeah, it's a bit chilly today.
A little brisk on the drive in, wouldn't you say?
I would say so.
I guess. So what's going on in Chicago? They had the day off yesterday, right?
Yep, they did. The board was closed yesterday. It opened this morning. Corn's up 5, beans are up 2, and wheat's up 7. A lot of kind of mixed news in the market as we move forward. A lot to dissect with the new administration moving very quick. We had senior White House officials are supposed to meet with Russia today in Saudi Arabia to talk about a ceasefire in Russia for the Russia-Ukraine war. We have March 25, So the CH25 contract just pushed past $5, which is the first time it's done that since about mid-May of last year. We have the May of 25 contract, which just pushed through its highs for the first time since last May as well. That was 5.12, and we have pushed through that on the May. Bulls are pointing towards a strong U.S. demand, a weaker dollar, but the dollar's up about 300 points right now. Continued uncertain weather in Argentina for their corn crop and Brazil's second corn crop production. They're still thinking the South America production estimates may need to be trimmed a bit further, and U.S. demand is still going strong despite higher prices. There's a lot of talk surrounding corn, what our planted intentions are going to be come the March 31st planting intentions report. All eyes are on that, and a lot of news is starting to come out about where people think those acres might come in at, and that's anywhere from 93.5 to 95.5 million corn acres. There's a lot of argument, so that is something to keep our eye on as we move forward in the corn world. Bean world, we've lost about 40 cents off the high since a couple weeks ago. Strong nearby support in that 10 to 10.30 range for beans futures. A lot of news as we move through South America, what their yield and production actually is. There's a lot of people saying that they'll still harvest about 15 million metric tons of additional new crop production, and a lot of uncertainty around U.S. trade and biofuels as we look through the bean market. And in the wheat market, starting the week, coming off strong start again. Russia is still talking about peace and lower exports coming out of the Black Sea region, so that's moving the wheat market quite steadily today. A lot of news every day that's swinging this market one way or another. Probably still see profits taken at some point as we still push through new highs in the corn market.
Yeah, it sure sounds that way. Really volatile with so many different inputs coming in and affecting the market. You just really don't have a good feel right now, do you?
Right. And every day we're hearing about new trade, new policy, new tariffs, whether they're going to come on or not come on, whether they're pushed back or not. All of that is coming into a strong root on what's happening here in the market. And then we also have the flip side of this where world corn supply is actually down a tick from last year. Last year, globally, corn ending stocks were 315 million metric tons. This year, for the 24-25 crop year, we're sitting at about 290. So we're down about 25 million metric tons in corn ending stocks. Where on the flip side of that, beans, we've actually increased about 12 million metric tons from the 23-24 crop year. So as we talk about world ending stocks and what we have here in the country for ending stocks, U.S. ending stocks, there's a lot to swarm around all of that. And when we have new trade and policy coming in every single day, it's going to make it very volatile. Best thing to do is work closely with your grain merchant, lock in prices you can make money at, and keep moving along.
I guess. So right now on your board, what do you have, Melinda?
Yeah, right now, nearby corn, if you have corn at the elevator, you're at $4.60. New crop 25 corn, $4.12. Nearby soybeans, $9.95. New crop 25 soybeans, $9.85. New crop 25 red wheat, $5.67. And new crop July white wheat at $6.07.
You have a great day. Thanks, Melinda.
Yeah, you guys too.
You bet. Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us right now. The Market Report brought to you by Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors made easy. They want you to remember, mark it down on the calendar, this coming Saturday. It's the Thumb Area Old Engine and Tractor Association's big event going on at the Brentwood in Caro. So mark it down on your calendar. That's this coming Saturday. We'll be broadcasting our show live from the Brentwood on Friday to give you a sneak preview of what you can find at that particular event. Buy, sell, swap, that's what it's all about. And all the proceeds go to putting the big event in August on. which they do every year at the Caro Fairgrounds. Steiner Tractor, 800-234-3280, or go online at steinertractor.com. And by Freeland Bean and Grain, your Dairyland seed dealer. Justin Varner, he's the guy you should be talking to. Dairyland Seed. They've got seed with your name on it from your friends at Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983. Where serving you is their business. Doug Klein, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we gave everybody the day off, and what are they doing to us now?
Well, the grains are okay. The S&P hit an all-time high today, so that's okay. NASDAQ also hit an all-time high. The Dow's kind of lagging, but they'll get around to it. The food stocks are still in trouble. General Mills hit a new low. ConAgra hit a new low. Deere is not in trouble. $494 a share. That's an all-time high for them. So they're up 3%. Yeah, just mostly the usual suspects, everything we've been talking about for weeks now. And the grains, we're kind of sort of running out of sellers, and that's kind of the exciting time for the traders to jump in and manipulate, possibly higher, knock on wood, cross your fingers and see what happens. But it could be an interesting next few months, maybe. Gold did not hit a new high, but it's up almost $50, so that ain't bad. And then silver's up about the same percentage-wise, 57 cents. So that's pretty decent too. Platinum and copper, not really. They're kind of letting down a little bit. So here's your numbers. March corn 501 3/4, up 5.5. September corn 479.5, up 4 1/4. The March soybeans 1039, up 3. September soybeans 1053.5, up 3.5. March wheat is 607.5, up 7.5, and September wheat 645, up 6.5. Crude oil 71.62, up 91 cents. Heating oil 239.37, down a half a penny. Gasoline 209.09, down a tenth of a penny. And natural gas 384.1, that's up 7 cents. And I saw that there was a guy from Canada, not Trudeau, but he was kind of knocking Trudeau on his deals with natural gas, because Canada has a lot of that. They're selling it way cheaper than the world market. So he's just kind of talking around natural gas a little bit. So we'll see where that goes, but it's way cheap on our markets compared to the world markets, about a third. Our markets trade about a third of what the world price is. So kind of interesting. So over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.4191 Canadian. That's up about 11 ticks. The dollar buys 151.83 yen. That's up 33 ticks. The euro's at 104.55, down 27 ticks. And the dollar's at 106.94. That's up 36 ticks. Gold's at 29.4890, up 48.20 an ounce. Silver's 33.58, up 57.5 cents. Platinum's at $1,001.90. That is down 11.70, and copper is at 462.30, down 9 cents.
Well, welcome back. You got a 4-day trading week. Hopefully, we can shore up anything that we need to shore up.
Keep those heated gloves charged. That's all I got.
Yeah, no kidding. Of course, the price of batteries ain't cheap anymore either.
Yeah, you got to get those lithium, right? Get that lithium going.
There you go. There you go.
I need help there.
Doug, thanks. We'll talk to you again. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Ed Raymond and Sons. Quality clothing and shoes since 1919. Carhartt's, Red Wing shoes and boots, Stormy Cromer accessories, and a whole lot more. You got to stop by 151 West Broad Street in downtown Chesaning and see what they've got. I think you'll be surprised. Ed Raymond's. Check them out online as well at edraymond's.com. And don't forget, they're open 7 days. Matthew, coming up, who do we have?
Up next, we have Craig Voorhees from the Rummel Insurance Agency, and we also have Jerry Samolsky from the Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville.
Well, before we get to them, here's this.
Hey, pickup truck shoppers. With all the news about inflation and potential tariffs, are you worried or at least wondering if you're going to be able to afford your next truck? I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet Ambassador with some great news if you're currently in the market. Right now, for at least this month, lease payments have stayed the same. For just $225 a month, you can be driving a brand new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab that's 4 full doors and 4-wheel drive We're talking power seats, dual heated seats, heated steering wheel, lane change assistance, forward collision alert, all the new features, no inflation, no tariffs, no price increase, just $225 a month. Get out today. That's Cook Chevrolet M15 Top of the Hill in Vassar.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease. 10,000 miles per year, 2,000 cash down plus tax. Call or visit us on the web at cookchevysuperstore.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at High Fidelity Genetics. Remember, you can save half the cost of seed with High Fidelity Genetics. Seed corn, non-GMO seed corn, and soybeans that even qualify for organic production. Don't forget, it yields high, and it is high quality, half the price. And the test plots prove you do get the best for less with High Fidelity Genetics. Find out more by going to highfidelitygenetics.com or give them a call at 515-434-7333. Jerry Samalski joining us right now from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. I think the plant's got a little insulation on them, Jerry.
Yeah, that's all good stuff. Plants like the snow. It keeps this cold out from them. And even if you have some plants that are weeped over a little bit, this sun's going to get that snow off them quick. Lightly brush them if you'd like, but be careful. If there's iced up, sometimes you do more damage than good by trying to get the ice off and get them to stand up. They'll come back up in time.
I was wondering if you were going to touch on that because I was going to ask you. I know some folks like to go out and just, kick it to try to get the ice off or the heavy snow. Leave it alone.
Yeah, I think so. Again, the snow is so cold and light. Now with the sun, it melts and maybe gets a little bit heavier. But, I think you're probably just as well off to let it be. And again, if you lightly want to brush off, it'll come off easily. But if you got to start working at it, then I think we might end up damaging more than we're going to help.
Good advice. Jerry, we'll talk again tomorrow, okay?
Yes, sir.
Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Over to Craig Voorhees we go now with the Rummel Agency. Craig, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to kind of continue with the ice theme, Terry. Didn't know that was going to be our theme for the day, but, with all this snow we've got, we're out clearing our driveways, our sidewalks, our paths to our bird feeders. We haven't had to do that in a while. Don't forget to look up and check on your gutters, your valleys on your roofs. When the temperature moderates here in a few days and then refreezes at night, that's ideal conditions for forming ice dams up there, and those can cause some damage that we don't like. So make sure you're checking on that when you're doing all your other snow removal.
Yeah, those icicles look really pretty, but that could spell some problems.
Right. That could put water where we don't want it and then damage our house or our roof. And then we got to put a claim in, and none of that's fun stuff.
No, not at all. Craig, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
All right, Terry, thank you.
You bet. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw. They're ready to go. They are a parts and service headquarters for light, medium, heavy-duty trucks, trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Quality parts and service at very competitive prices for well over 45 years. 800-358-4751 or go online, truckspring.com. And don't forget, they are open weekdays till 11 p.m. Let's find out what's going on in New York right now. Teresa DeVoe over at Baird & Company joining me. Teresa, what do we have?
Good morning. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 74 points at 44,470, 333 million shares traded. NASDAQ up a bit, up 0.39 at 20,027, 671 million shares traded there. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar at 354.27, up 95. Deere 494.23, up 14.01. CMS Energy 69.61, up 80. Dow 39.74, up $1.07. DuPont 84.65, up $1.40. Corteva 64.63, up 67. General Motors 47.72, down 65. Trinzio 5.21, up 7. Walmart 102.94, down $1.10. Huntington Bank 16.86, up 14. Independent Bank 34.98, down 13, and AT&T at 2603 up 16.
Well, I'm glad we closed on a positive there.
There you go.
All right. You have a good day, Teresa. Thank you so much.
You too. Take care.
Teresa DeVoe over at Baird and Company. Mark this down on the calendar, February the 25th, Michigan Wheat Growers Annual Meeting. That'll be at the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center. The folks at Star of the West Milling invite wheat growers to attend their annual meeting. Registration 8:15. Program runs until about 3:30 in the afternoon. You can register at miwheat.org. Farm Service brought to you today by Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Closely watched talks in Saudi Arabia between the U.S. and Russia wrapped up today, with Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying afterwards the two sides